surging UFC welterweight Randy Brown. What's going on, Randy? I know you're in New York, man, the epicenter of this coronavirus. How's your life right now?
It's on hold, just like the rest of the world, I guess. Oh, some parts of the world. I'm just on hold, man. Ain't nothing we could do right now. Just doing what we can do, training. Staying home, staying safe, social practicing good social distancing etiquette. So that's it.
All right, let's go back to April 11th, UFC Portland. You're originally supposed to face Vicente Luque. They canceled that show. What exactly happened, leading up to that date?
Nothing. Everything was good. Camp was on fire, probably one of my better camps, and everything was right on track of where it was supposed to be. But then, my fight got canceled. Obviously, it was 2 weeks prior, 2 or 3 weeks prior to the actual date. And once that happened, everything kind of slowed down. We pumped the brakes, and started prioritizing everything else, trying to get, everything else in order around us, preparing for, what was happening with the coronavirus and all that. So I kind of just stopped training and just chilling, and then they asked me if I wanted to fight on the 18th. They asked me if I wanted to fight on the 18th, probably, like 2 weeks after. And then I was like, nah, because it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. I tried to rally a camp, like I was telling you before, but all my training partners, they're not training. My gym's closed. Training partners are like, they're from other gyms, their gym's closed. Social distancing is like big in New York right now. So everyone has to like stay inside, so it was tough. It was just tough. It just didn't make sense. I didn't have the means to train and, be at my best. It wouldn't make sense for me to show. It wouldn't be fair to me, my opponent, or the fans for me to show up and put on a half-ass show, and plus, especially this is an opportunity for me to break into top 15. So knowing that this is that kind of opportunity, it wouldn't make sense for me to go out there and have a lackluster performance because, fans don't give a fuck about your circumstances. They don't give a shit. They just want to know what happened that day. And, so I want to give myself the best chance possible to show up and do what I do.
Before they canceled the show, was New York hit with the coronavirus or did it happen after the cancellation?
Oh, no, we were already hit. We were hit maybe a week prior, but people were still kind of out and about doing things. It was just, they were just talking about it daily, but then once they decided to shut everything down, that's when things really started to take a sharp turn.
Yeah, it's a time in the world where you do have to be very careful of where you go and who you talk to, and you, like you said, you said the gym's shut, your training partners are not training, you're not training, so it you're on this fence, right? It's like this is a big opportunity for you, so you could take the opportunity and maybe like have a lackluster performance, or you could pump the brakes and say, okay, I'm just gonna let this one pass and take that next opportunity. And I think that's the smarter thing to do, right? Is because every fight is important when you get to this level. It's not like you could just take these one-offs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think the opportunity is lost. I don't think I lost my spot or anything like that. You know what I mean? For me, it's like I'm in no rush. One, I know where I'm headed. You know what I mean? I know I'm super confident in my abilities. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm in the the best organization in the world, like the best competition, the highest level of guys, and shit happens, but I'm in no rush. You know what I mean? I know what my capabilities are and I know where I'm headed. So I'm not really too worried about, losing the spot. And hey, worst case scenario, I looked at it like, since Vicente Luque, what's his name? Niko, since Niko Price got the fight, in my head, I'm like, all right, well, it's a win-win for me. You know what I mean? If I get to fight the winner either way, I get a rematch with, with the dude that beat me, but I'm 1,000% sure I could beat, but that's a whole other story, right? And then, Vicente Luque, my original matchup. So I was like, all right, they can go ahead and work that out right now, and I'll just chill for now. And then maybe in July or August or some time like that, when everything gets back to normal, I'll be there, do what I do.
That show the week later, that one was canceled too. So it was just like you're unstable.
Too. Yeah, but now they're talking about May 9th.
Yeah.
I heard they didn't send out any contracts, that I know of as of right now, but, to any of those fighters that's listed. But they put up a card, theoretical card or whatever. But they put it up, and we'll see. You know, we'll see if it actually goes down May 9th. But either way, I just want people to stay safe. I want to be safe. I want my training partners to be safe. And I think that me hitting the bag in my backyard, doing my strength and conditioning on my own in my backyard, you know, cooking. I'm cooking. I've always been a person that cooks, you know, but having to wear a mask and go to the grocery store, you don't want to go to the grocery store all the time because it's like, it's crazy out there right now, you know? So it's just, I don't know. I'm worried about the people around me too. I have like my mom, you know, it's my family, like, you know, my son, like, you know, my in-laws. I got so many people, older people around me that I don't want them to get affected. So I gotta be safe. Training in my backyard is not going to be enough for me to go and put on a performance, you know. And even then, I just think that it's just not going to be good for me to go and be around. I'm not worried about me. I'm good. You know what I mean? But what happens if I get this thing and I'm bringing it around the people that I love? You know, I don't want that. So
The lockdown lifestyle, like what is your lifestyle every day? You know, like you said, you're in the back hitting the bag and doing your little strength and conditioning stuff, but man, it must be hard to just go out there, right? You're just like, man.
I mean, I'm used to training 2 to 3 times a day. Now I'm training once a day, you know, and it's on my own. I'm just doing my own thing, you know, but everybody's doing the same shit. I can't complain. We just here, especially in New York. Everybody's locked down. I'm just chilling. I've been playing video games. The days are blending. The days are blending. You know, my sleep pattern is all fucked up, but you know, what can you do? It's quarantine. We're all quarantined, you know. I've been playing a lot of Blackout. I've been playing not Blackout, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty and shit.
Okay.
So that's been good.
That's a good game.
I've been getting good at that. Right as we speak, right here. When you text me just now, I was like, all right, let me see if I can flip my camera.
Okay.
So I was just playing just now, like literally, right before you called. So that's all I've been doing, man. Video games. I've been watching a whole bunch of shitload of old fights. I've been studying some boxing fights. You know, I'm a huge boxing fan too, so it's been watching a lot of shit. TV time.
Who are you watching? What boxers?
Old shit, man. Old shit, like old Floyd shit. I even went back to Tommy Hearns. I was watching old Tommy Hearns. A lot of stuff, man. I've been watching this one kid Prime Time coming up, you know, just a lot of shit. Just randoms.
Tommy Hearns, man, he was legit right there.
Yeah, he was like that jab, man. That jab. And he had an underrated hook. People sleep on his hook, man, because of his length. His hook was vicious. His left hook was filthy. And he'd throw it so smooth right off of his jab. It was nice.
May 9th, man, they said that they're going to have a card. And Vicente Luque, Niko Price. Break down that matchup. How do you see that playing out?
I see Vicente Luque TKOing him. TKOing him again. You know, unless somehow the wild man Niko Price pulls it off, you know, with some crazy shit. Because he always has something. He's so unpredictable, you know. He's like, he can catch you from anywhere, you know, at any moment. But I think that Vicente has the fundamentals down. I think he, you know, has his hands are always up. Everything's nice and tight. He doesn't really make too much mistakes. Good, steady pressure. He understands distance well, you know. Tight punches. I think Niko gets TKO'd or possibly KO'd in that fight.
Last year, man, you had a very good year. It's like many people would say a breakout year. You know, you did really well against top competition, which leads you to a ranked fighter like Vicente Luque being matched up, right? What did you think? Like, what were you working on that whole year that you felt like, okay, this was some of the key factors of me having such a great year? All
right, so if you go on social media or even like Reddit or whatever, and the things people say about me, if you really read what they always say about me, it's kind of like, I've noticed people say, hey, he has a low fight IQ. Low fight IQ. Like, people always say I have a low fight IQ, right? And I'm just like, how the fuck do I have a low fight IQ? Like, in their mind, they've never really been in there. So, you know, everyone is an expert and they have things to say. So, but I just noticed that's one of the things that people would say. And for me, I chalked that up to something that I needed to work on, which was decision making. I did make bad decisions at times during fights. And that came to, you know, that's why people were saying I have poor fight IQ. But I've done things, I've grappled when I probably shouldn't have grappled, you know. I've done shit like that. Just decided to do takedowns when I shouldn't have been doing takedowns. But I think that's enough. That just came from maturity, and just being, what they call mat time, being in the octagon and being it and just doing it. And sometimes you're going off autopilot and you're just going off adrenaline. But at that time, but now I'm in a space where I feel I'm not going off of adrenaline anymore. I'm not just going off of instinct. I'm analyzing the fight. I'm controlling the fight, dictating where I want to fight, what I want to take place, and what I want to happen. And I think that comes from just maturity. At the end of the day, that's what it comes from, and just being in the game for a lengthy amount of time. Because I always talk about this, and people don't realize I got into the UFC super early. I know a lot of guys on the out circuits, when they got into the UFC, maybe they had time on the local circuits for about, I want to say 3-4 years, 5 years sometimes. I was on a local circuit for a year. You know what I mean? I had like all my fights within that year, and then I went to the UFC. So maybe I wasn't ready at the time. Now I'm ready. Now I'm experienced, and the training that I've been doing is just pretty much the same. I'm always improving. Nothing's changing. Only thing that changes is my skill set. But I'm always focusing on looking to learn something new, looking to develop my strength, looking to develop my striking, and different sequences. That's pretty much it, and I'm putting it all together now. And I do feel I've one of the better strikers in the division, if not possibly the best. I know I'm gonna get chewed up for that, but that's a fact. That's a fact, and I can't wait to show it.
The boxing, is that a goal for you to like be one of the best boxers in MMA?
That wasn't really a goal. I am. I am the best boxer in MMA, I think. Maybe I haven't shown it yet. I've shown glimpses. If you're paying attention, you see what it is. But I honestly think I am. And that wasn't necessarily a goal. My goal was always to just be the best I could be and be the best in my division. When it comes to stand up, ain't nobody fucking with me. Ain't nobody in my division fucking with me when it comes to stand up. And I could not wait to show it, because the Vicente fight, I was going to be the underdog again, right? You know how it goes. And I was going to shock a lot of people, and I can't wait. I pray we get that same matchup, and we go in and do what we do.
Yeah, that Vicente matchup is like a perfect matchup for both you guys, because he has the boxing too. And it's like, okay, who's going to have the best boxing? Who's going to turn into a boxing match, I thought.
Yeah, that fight was going to be fire, bro. That fight was going to be fire. And I knew it. And he has the perfect style to bring out the best in me, because he's coming. He is coming forward with pressure, and I'm hard to hit, man. I'm hard to hit clean. I'm hard to hit flush. And it was just going to be a masterful display.
Yeah, I think the fans and even the media and just people in general that watch the sport, they have this expectation with those 3 letters, the UFC. And they don't look at each individual fighter at that moment in their career. It's just, oh, you're in the UFC, so you have to be this level. You have to be like this. And a lot of the people, like you said, that are on Reddit or on these social medias and all that, is guys that they never fought. So it's like, how do you know that this dude has poor fight IQ, right? It's like, how do you know?
Yeah. It's like, they just, you know what? I seen someone say, hey, when I fought Mickey Gall, they're like, he could have easily knocked out Mickey Gall, and he chose to grapple him. Why would he grapple someone? And look, he lost the second round, looked horrible when he could have easily. Nothing's easy. Mickey Gall is a fucking stud. That dude is nice. He's a beast at what he does, right? He's in the UFC. He is an elite athlete at the end of the day. But a lot of people don't know that was all ego on my part. Like, if you the story leading up to our fight, he was talking so much shit because he came to my gym, and when he came to my gym, he choked me out when we were training. At Henzo Gracie Academy, we were training, and in practice, we don't talk about practice. It is what it is. You know what I mean? He caught me. I caught him as well that day. And he went on this interview, and he went on these rants talking about how he bodied me up and he did this to me and did that to me. At the time, Mickey was hot and he was talking, he's talking spicy at that time, right? And I was just like, all right. I didn't say much. I was like, all right. When that time comes, I hope this guy that you portraying to be shows up, because if not, I'm going to hurt you. All right. And we was doing, the whole media thing, talking back and forth or whatever. So I grappled him because I wanted to grapple him. I grappled him because I wanted to show him, like, bro, like, nah, like not because you choked me in practice means that, you know, you're obviously he has good jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean? But I have good jiu-jitsu too. I'm not a jiu-jitsu ace. I'm not no Gary Tonin or nothing like that, you know what I mean? But I'm a brown belt, bro. Like I'm a Henzo Gracie brown belt. Like I'm a solid on the fucking ground. You know what I mean? So for him to be saying that, I was like, all right. So my goal that fight was to be on the ground with him and survive and possibly threaten, even choke him out, you know? And it was back and forth grappling match, you know? And for that, people that don't know the backstory was like, oh, he made poor decisions and he has, you know, low fight IQ and yada, yada, yada. But you know how that goes.
Yeah. It's always good to know the backstory of certain aspects of rounds and even the game plans going into certain fights because you know, even for myself, I don't know. Sometimes a fighter will go in, I'll be like, hey, why are they moving around like that? I don't know. Maybe they saw something in previous fights of their opponent where they could take advantage, and sometimes it does work out and they get these amazing finishes from it, and other times the other fighter is ready for that different game plan, right? So you got to look at it like from both perspectives, I guess.
Exactly. You know, sitting the guy, it's easy to say whatever from the couch at the moment. So, you know, I'm getting to a point in my career where I'm starting to understand a lot of the things more, you know, more about the sport, you know, more about how the science of it, more the psychology of it, of how people operate, how the guys that fight operate, the fans, you know. So I'm just like, people are always going to talk, man. People are going to say whatever. People are going to say shit like from fucking shit that don't make any sense sometimes. That you can't put any value to it. You just got to just see it and just be like, okay, and just pass it, you know?
Speaking about the ground game, your last fight, you went to the ground and you choked out.
I fell.
Oh, you fell. Well, you know, hey, it doesn't matter because it leads to showing your ground game, right? Which is sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes you go somewhere and it just leads to something spectacular, which is, you know, you go to Brazil and get that finish, which is pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, that was a great feeling, man. That was nice. That was nice. Honestly, though, if I could tell y'all something, like I didn't want to submit. Really
you told me
you know,
before that fight.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to KO him. You know, I thought going into that fight, I knew I was gonna KO him. In my mind, I was like, yo, I'm gonna put this dude out. I'm gonna put this dude on ice. You know, and then because I do well with those aggressive guys, you know, who like super aggressive and want to come and swing bombs. I like that, and the way that fight unfolded is hilarious. It is what it is. You know, I wanted to finish him, you know, with that head kick setup that I had, and I landed the head kick, you know, and I keep saying if I didn't fall at that point, because he caught my leg and then I fell. At that point, he was rocked, you know, and then I just whatever the fight gave me that at that moment, that opportunity presented itself, so I just kind of just took it, you know. But that's not how I wanted to win.
Well, it shows that like you're not narrow-minded during the fight, because there's certain fighters I feel like they're set on finishing the fight a certain way or winning a fight a certain way where they don't take advantage of certain positions. But in that fight, you showed that. You showed that, hey, if it goes to the ground, okay, I'm going to take advantage of that.
For sure. But I can be stubborn at times, you know, and that's when, again, that comes with experience. So before, probably in the past, maybe, you know, maybe I would have just, oh, he's rocked and I want to get the KO so bad. I would have worked my, try to get up and try to, you know, but back in the day, I remember I said something like, you know, I used to say it and my coaches used to tell it to me, but I never really fully understood it, you know, and I felt like I understood it at the time. And he used to always say, you know, you want to be empty. You want emptiness in your mind. You know, you want to be able to, it's kind of like, you know, like cliche, like water, Bruce Lee, that kind of shit. Like, oh, you know, like you got to be like water, you know, shit like that. But he was looking at it he was coming with it from a point of, well, you want to be empty. You don't want to be too stuck on one thing. You know what I mean? You kind of want to be malleable. You want to be able to go with whatever, you know, whatever opportunity presents itself at the moment. And like not to be too fixated on one thing. And I feel like, you know, that was my opportunity to show that I had a better understanding of that, you know. So when I went down, I was like, all right, I need to finish the fight. This is a fight. Not only punches and kicks are not the only thing that can finish this mixed martial arts bout. I can finish this fight, you know, with many different ways, you know. And right now I'm on my back. Here's a good opportunity to show people that, you know, I can grapple. So I threw up a triangle, you know. So, you know, it's just like you said, just being not too narrow-minded, And I'm getting better at that. So that's that fight IQ, right?
Yeah.
Getting better.
Hey, I appreciate the time, Randy. Hopefully you do get set up, and then we hook up again and chat about what's coming up for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. You the man.